Hello nerds! I'm happy to see you again from our B Lab. Today we're going to do a research highlight from our lab. Josh is going to talk about his amazing research.
Hi everyone! I'm Joshua. I'm a master's student in the Beat Lab. I did my undergrad in Germany, and now I have the privilege to be at McMaster working with Dr. Fink in the Beat Lab.
So just provide a little bit context about what Josh will be talking about today. So from protest songs to charity concert, many music calls for social justice advocacy. A good demonstration of this is the Innocent concert arranged by our lab and the Live Lab earlier this year. The concert Innocence calls for justice for people wrongfully convicted in prison for crimes they never committed. The performers, Ellen Alt and John Lane, used their music to evoke profound emotional and behavioral changes in their audience. So Josh's research wants to ask, what is the exact psychological mechanism going behind that? And how does music profoundly evoke people's emotional and behavioral social advocacy? Let's hear what Josh has to say about this.
Gladly. So there's been much research interest in music cognition about sort of pro-social effects of making or listening to music together. And we see the same thing actually for listening to music together even. So some studies have shown that audience members, after attending a concert together, feel closer to each other. But I felt that there's this whole application of music out there, which is music in advocacy contexts. So we wanted to ask what the mechanisms are that motivate audiences to help sort of this external target group that is not attending the concert together with them, and what role the music plays to create pro-social feelings and pro-social behavior towards external targets.
Exactly. And it's especially amazing when you're tying your research interests about this when we have an Innocent concert going on at the same time, right?
Yeah, I mean that was fantastic. It was such a fun study to work on because our supervisor, Dr. Fink, she had connections to these two percussion performers, Alan Otti and John Lane, who have been creating a performance about wrongful incarceration. And Dr. Fink was able to bring it here to McMaster, to the Live Lab. And so that was a perfect occasion to investigate what actually happens here psychologically.
I heard that you have an amazing poster about all of the cool things you've done for your research. Do you want to take us to your poster?
Absolutely, yeah, let's do it. So what we did was we had audiences come into the Live Lab and they were experiencing the live performance together with an accompanying documentary film. They gave some background information about the creative process of the performance and the intentions and interpretations of the performers. So on 2 days we flipped the order, and on the first day audiences would first see the film and then the performance, and on the second day audiences would first see the performance and then the film, just to counterbalance the effect of context information. And then we also had both in-person and live stream audiences. So the entire event was also live streamed on YouTube, and we also asked those audiences online the same survey to answer the same surveys as the audiences in person, so that we could compare the effect of being in the same room together versus experiencing this sort of by yourself remotely, right? And so the first thing that we found, and that I think is very promising, that throughout all of the scales that we were looking at, the emotional side with empathic concern, the rational side of problem awareness, and the sort of group level of feeling connected to wrongfully imprisoned individuals. Throughout all of these, we saw increases from before the performance or before the event to after the event. So the event was effective in increasing feelings of closeness, and increasing feelings of empathy, and increasing awareness of the issue of wrongful imprisonment. And these increases were comparable between the in-person audiences and the live stream audiences. So it actually seems that the effect of the performance and the film is preserved whether you see it live in a group with a bigger audience, or whether you see it by yourself at home. And the other thing that we were interested in is which of these scales would predict the actual social justice behavior, right? So as I was saying, the intention of the performers is to get the audiences to engage with this topic. And so what we did was we cooperated with a local NGO, Innocence Canada, who's fighting wrongful imprisonment in Canada. And we asked audiences whether they wanted to take home a flyer of the organization, whether they wanted to sign up to the mailing list, and whether they would like to make a donation to that charity. And we did see substantial numbers in the audience engaging in all of these behaviors. And out of the 3 constructs that we were looking at, it was really the emotional ones. So the empathic concern with wrongfully imprisoned individuals that predicted whether or not audience members would engage in these behaviors. And maybe as a little teaser, we also, beyond the surveys, administered or measured cardiac activity and gaze behavior throughout the entire event. So those results are for another time because we're still working on them.